That was a great win today. Can you I got to go back to the red card, but more just about the importance of the team coming back together. You're down a man, but how important it was for your team to come back and get that goal and then control possession for the rest of the game, even being a man down.
Yeah, obviously a circumstance we were not really planning for so early as well. I think if you draw the experiences from the past, say 4 to 5 games where we've gone ahead in the game and had to defend a little bit deeper because we were under pressure, that's football. You've got to draw from the experiences that you get, and we've had some of them recently, so we were not uncomfortable being the man down. We felt quite comfortable, and that's really from the experiences that we've just had in the games that we did, and the boys executed perfectly. I mean, the game plan defensively didn't really change. We just lost a guy in the front line. We couldn't get as much pressure high as we'd like, but the back four, midfield four, really their job stayed as is, and they handled it fantastically well.
Do you have thoughts on the red card?
I didn't see it. I mean, I turned around at the moment and saw, I forget who it was, fall on the floor.
Terzaghi.
Yeah, but I didn't really see what happened, so I'm not sure.
I was going to ask for your thoughts on the substitutions you made in minute 79. All 3 of those players that came off had put in such a shift, including Luis, Pierre. Who was the third player? I'm trying to remember. Jack, yes. Just thoughts on the kind of siege mentality, being down a player but getting that crucial goal, and then you were on your front foot the entire second half.
Yeah. All of those guys who sought out the 75 minutes were incredible. The work rate that they put in against this type of team, the way they play with getting the ball into wide areas and their ability to shift the ball left and right, meant we had to do a lot of shifting left and right and pressure in wide areas. So the guys put in a lot of energy out wide, specifically Luis when he went out wide and Pierre. So it was important to get some fresh energy in that area. And then, of course, Jack was defending, and then he was trying to counter-attack and get us up the other end of the pitch and really box the box. So we just needed to get a little bit more of a defensive mind in there with Colin, and give Jack a little bit of a break because he worked incredibly hard today. So super proud of the guys. Huge result given the circumstances, and a proper team performance.
Obviously, this is a new team that Richmond we've never seen before. What kind of things that you see that you could exploit in the film, even the little amount that you've been able to see?
Yeah, I mean, anything from an attacking standpoint really goes out the window when you lose the guy that we did. So really for us, we tweaked a couple of things with the team from an attacking standpoint. It's really hard to do that and have success, but we rolled Luis to the right-hand side. We had him coming inside a lot next to the 6, and then Javi would look to overlap a lot on that right-hand side when we got the ball out there. We'd push Andre a little bit higher and leave Jack on his own in midfield. So we basically had a single midfielder with Luis and Andre high either side of their single 6. So for him to cover that space for both players is quite tough. And then Pierre looking to really attack closer a little bit and Wacom from outside to inside. And then of course Javi going a little bit higher on the right. So it worked a decent amount in the first half, and then I would say a little bit at the start of the second half. But then they just started to get some subs in, fresh energy, changed a little bit of their plan, and we had to defend a little bit more. So really then it became about counter-attack. So executed perfectly by the guys from a defensive standpoint.
We know Richmond likes to pump long balls up the pitch. It seemed like they went away from that, and it feels like a lot of that had to do with David Garcia and his play. I thought he was outstanding, probably player of the match for me. Thoughts on the long ball and the play of David Garcia?
Yeah, there was one change they made in the lineup that I was surprised to see, which was O'Dwyer, and then Kagawa came in, which are 2 very different profile of players. So that really told me that they were not going to go as direct central. They were probably going to go a little bit more wide in their play, try and get overloads and get some service in the box. So we'll take that all day, But then, of course, he came in later in the game. You saw a little bit more of that directness coming in. But yeah, backline handled it fantastically well. Marcelo, he hasn't had a ton of minutes recently, and he steps in and walks away with a clean sheet with 10 men. I mean, full credit to the guy and the team.
You almost had a goal too off that long throw from PR.
Yeah, big save.
Yeah,
good save.
Congrats, coach.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just love to know your thoughts going down a player in the 11th minute, I think, and getting a scrappy goal and surviving to get 3 points.
Sometimes that's what it takes. Obviously we go on with the game plan. We think the game's going to go a certain way, and it didn't. But I mean, at the same time, we figured it out. And the big thing is we were able to get that goal and finish the game out, which is the most important. Get the 3 points at home no matter what.
You take back to that goal, what you saw in that set piece and how you were able to kind of see, I guess what was your perspective on it?
I think just leading up to it, I mean, we were doing really well getting forward and kind of being dangerous up top. It's just one of those situations where you get that one opportunity and put it away. My job is to, in those situations, to put in a dangerous ball, and sometimes it's scrappy, sometimes it's not, but you got to take it. That's what it took to win the game, and I'll take that all day.
You and Javi linked up a lot down the right, and I kept waiting. There was going to be a heel-to-heel goal contribution, but it never quite happened. But just thoughts on the two of you down the right, which was happening a lot in the second half.
It was great. I actually was talking to him during the game about it. I kind of apologized to him a couple times. I was like, dang, dude, we're doing so well in those situations that I just can't get it off. I mean, there was two that I missed hit. One went over the bar. One I just got on top of the bar, kind of rolled to the goalkeeper. Javi's been putting himself in good situations, getting high. Then the keeper made a great save on my header as well, which, props to him for doing that. But
was that Javi on the end line that squared it back for you?
Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah. So we got that link up, which is great. You want to see that with players in those positions, kind of feeding off of each other and understanding our movements. And he's been excelling in those situations, and it's great to see, these past couple games he's been doing that. And, I'm proud of him for, stepping into that role and helping us out, because he was big time for us.
Yeah, despite going man down, you guys, I think, were still able to kind of hold possession, and you capitalized on that one goal, and then held Richmond to a lot of shots on goal, or at least really terrible shots on goal. What can you tell me about the defensive effort?
Yeah, I was surprised. I just think they just weren't clean enough. There was a lot of times where we did absorb pressure, and being a man down, they kind of overloaded on one side. But they're never really threatening, besides one shot that went over the bar or something like that. But nothing really clear. But they had a lot of missed passes, a lot of defensive work on our end as well. And we were able to get them in those transition moments. I feel like sometimes, especially me, I could have held onto the ball a little bit more when I was higher up the field. I know sometimes when you have so much space, you kind of just want to go forward and get that goal, and even if it's just one player up top. But sometimes you got to calm the game down, especially when we're a man down, and hold on to it, keep the possession a little bit. So towards the end of the game, I started to do that, where I was holding on to it, which is fine, but just capitalizing on those moments and understanding when to go and when not to go.
Was that a conversation during the half of we need to make sure we control the tempo, we've got the goal, we're down a player? Was that a conversation?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it ended up being more in the second half, 15 minutes in, 20 minutes in. I had a couple conversations with Leigh about it. There was one where I got down the line and I had a ton of space, and I think it was the one where Anwar and who was it, Pierre, who kind of crashed into each other. Yeah. Obviously, when I see those types of runs, it's I want to get the ball in, but it's
you had one to Nico later too.
Yeah, I had one afterwards where it was okay, maybe the Nico one. Obviously, if I see Nico going in, I'm gonna put him in. But there was other situations where maybe, okay, hold on to it, let us get our guys up and keep it a little bit more.
Weird. So. I thought you guys were on your front foot more in the second
half.
More,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's it's hard because you get into those situations where you're okay, we can keep going, but then it's okay, keep doing it, but then understand sometimes it's hold on to it and let's catch our breath and keep the ball, because there was a lot of times where we did. You would think the other team would be in those situations more than us, but
can you say something about the back line, because they really didn't give up any quality chances?
Yeah, and that's what I got to before was, defensively we were absorbing so much pressure, and we did it so well where we were able to collect the ball, those second balls, and get forward at the same time because of the defensive work. They've been solid back there, so they've been big time for us. And defense wins games sometimes, even though obviously we got to score, but without them, it just becomes that much more tough for us. So shouts out to them as well. They've been really well for us these past couple games.
You guys have won 5 straight, I think. How does it feel to be on this winning streak and just be playing? I think, how do you feel about your form so far?
It's good form. Every game's kind of different. Being away like last game against who was it, Tormenta, wasn't the prettiest game. It was, we've kind of had these different situations where we go up sometimes, 2 goals, and then it's we're just on the back foot the whole time. So we're kind of still figuring out things and putting the pieces together, but we know we can grind out these games, and honestly, that's all that matters. So I feel like I'd rather put the pieces together at the end of the season, going into playoffs, and kind of figure it out. But we're getting it done, and the guys have been putting in the work, so I'm proud of that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Cool. Congrats, Luis.
Yep. Thank you.
We just talked to Luis. We thought we were going to see a heel-to-heel connection today, Javi. What went wrong? Why did you not score a goal or assist a goal for Luis?
I mean, we try 2 times, one in the first half and one in the second half, and we only needed the last shot. The connection was great between us. We both speak Spanish, so that's a good thing for us, for a good connection between us. But we almost scored both times, but next time we'll score for sure.
Let's talk a little bit about the competition at right back. I mean, what's that been like for you, knowing that this team added a bunch of quality players, including at a position that you play? Like, talk about, you saw the opportunity through injury and you've taken it and you have played outstanding football for the last couple of games.
Yes, this year we have a new roster, like more players in the roster. We are like 22 players in the roster, so we have more competition, of course. I think we have 2 players per position, and that's good for us because we cannot relax. So if I relax, the other player will play. If he relax, I will play. So that's good for the team to practice every single day at the best level, and then the best player will play. And that's all that matters. That's a good group. And then what we do in practice, we reflect in games. So I'm glad that we have that competition because that makes us be better every single day.
How important is that quality and that depth, especially today when you guys go the man down pretty early? How important is that depth when you get us in situations?
Yeah, first of all, we didn't expect to play with one man down
Right.
for the first. I mean, I think the red card was in the minute 15 of the first half, something like that. So we didn't expect that, but we kept playing the same football as we used to play every single game. Of course, they have one more player, so that's more difficult for us. But we try to play football when we are defending. It was important to defend the whole team, the 10 players, and that's what we did. The whole team defend, and the whole team attacked, and we did pretty good today, and we keep going for the next game.
I have one last fun question. Your favorite team, Real Madrid. Your position, right back. Thoughts about Trent Alexander-Arnold?
My best team is Spokane, first of all.
Oh, there we go. That's the right answer.
My first team is Spokane because I love the city, of course, and that's my life, Spokane. Of course, I have in my back Real Madrid, and about that question, Alexander-Arnold is a good player. Of course, Carvajal is coming back from the injury, so they both are good. So I don't know who will play.
So Real Madrid will have 2 great right backs. Spokane Velocity have 2 great right backs.
And a good team as well, both teams.
It's going well. All right.
Yeah.
Congrats, Javi.
Thank you so
Great
much.
game.
Thank you.